So we're lucky today to have with us an alumna of one of our programs, Girls One Diaspora, and I'd just like to make Janine Johnson raise her hand. For a censored amount of years. But yeah, has really been running this program well and serving students with a lot of passion for those years, including Balsam Adam. So Balsam is an 18-year-old born and raised in Northwest Philadelphia and originally from Sudan. Balsam has spent most of her life not really knowing what she wanted to be when she grew up, but that changed after she got to high school. From writing articles for the Philadelphia Inquirer to doing wet lab research, Balsam had probably experienced it all, especially at high school. After a while, she realized that her heart belonged in science. While conducting her research at Penn's dermatology department, she realized that there is a health disparity when it comes to researching skin diseases in people of color. She's now, as of 3-4 weeks ago, a freshman at Drexel. What? Me? Oh my God. She's new. She's really taken some precious time out of an exciting moment in her life to come and share her story with us. She's now a freshman at Drexel University studying global public health, and she's here to change that health disparity. So Balsam's going to start us off, and then at some point we're going to kind of switch to a dialogue format. Yeah.
Hi everyone. So I just want to come here and talk to you guys about what the museum means to me. And I feel like me being here is like a love letter to the museum. So I want to talk about like my first day coming here. So when I first came to the museum, I wasn't initially like invited to the Girls One Diaspora Club, but my friend invited me. She was part of the club, and she was like, I'm also from Northeast Philly, so it's just like kind of far from here. And she was like, hey, there's this club with like all these girls, and they're from like African descent, and they talk about science and STEM. And me as a sophomore in high school, I was like, that's like sounds amazing. Like, why should I not join? And my high school, I was like the only like person of color. There wasn't like a lot of people around me that looked like me. So I was like, this was like amazing. So I'm telling my mom all of this, and she's like, okay, go for one day. Also, it's like from 4 to 6 after school, so I'm like already tired. But she's like, just go. So I end up going with my friend. I get on the L for the first time, and I'm like, this is a lot. I don't know if I can do this every day. But you know, safe SEPTA. We end up stopping at Chinatown, and I've never been to Chinatown either. And she's like, we're just gonna get some boba, and then we're gonna be on our way. I was like, we're gonna be late. She's like, no, we have to get boba. Every time you jump Chinatown, you get boba. So I was like, we got the boba. We get back on the L, then we get off at 15th, we get on the trolley, we get off at 22nd, and I walk into this room, and we're late obviously, because we went to Chinatown. And they're sitting in this circle, and they're just like talking, like having face-to-face discussion. And I was like, this is like so intimate. I was like, I don't know anyone here, like, should I be here? And Miss Janine welcomes me in, and Miss Sarah, and they're just like, welcome, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, this is so like peaceful and calming. Like, it was so tranquil just to sit down with people who look like me and have a discussion. And we have this thing called Hot Topics. Like, not every week we have like a plan, but every week someone comes with a hot topic, and that's the topic of discussion. And it can be from pop culture to science to something that happened in the museum to what's going on worldwide. But it was always a productive conversation, and I never left feeling like less. I was left feeling like more empowered or like understanding a new concept. And on top of that, we would always have new guest speakers, and these people would be from so many different medical professionals. Like, we've learned about neuroscience, nursing, we've done anatomy labs, and I'm just like, this is amazing. So after senior year came along, obviously I had to leave the program because I'm going to college. But I remember while I was in high school, I did research at Penn's derm lab, and I specifically focused on CAR T cells. And throughout the whole dermatology department, it's a whole floor, there were literally no people of color. I just remember thinking that. And I love my mentors, people in my lab. Everyone's amazing, don't get me wrong. But representation was just definitely not there to begin with. And on top of that, I was watching videos online and people talking about how like there's a huge disparity in dermatology. And after my senior year, I took AP Research, and that's when I decided to make my own project. And I looked at racial disparities in dermatology and specifically focused on sunscreen usage among people of color and adolescents in Philadelphia. And for me to get data to even start that project, I really struggled with because sunscreen usage within dermatology isn't like something that's survey on its own. But I feel like with me living in Philadelphia, we have a lot of athletes, and track is a really big thing in my school and surrounding areas. And athletes aren't like trained to take care of themselves. I know like there's sports therapy, but what about their skin? Like your skin is the largest organ on your body, and we're not taught to take care of that. So throughout my senior year, I surveyed, and I really just looked at like what people believe about sunscreen, because that was another thing I've had an issue with, is that a lot of people don't believe in sunscreen, and there's a lot of myths. So I had to go back and research about eugenics and all of that stuff. And I just learned a lot about history, and I realized that the Mütter Museum is full of history. Like, everything here is a historical artifact. So I came to Miss Janine, I was telling her about my project and whatnot, and eventually that I finished my research project, that closed off, and I was like, when I come to Drexel, like, I want to focus exactly on this. Like, I finally know what I want to do, so I want to hone in on that skill. So I'm happy to be here. I mean, it's only been 1 week at Drexel. Just came out of biolab, but I feel like I know that's what I want to take my research forward, hopefully.
You've actually answered so many of the questions that I had written out for you. I mean, one of the things I'm curious about is, or that like really impresses me about this story is that even the first time we talked and you were describing your research to me, and then also being like, I'm about to start as a freshman in Drexel, I'm like, what are you talking? Like, the research you're describing is like college level research, but you're about to start it. Like, it's very impressive, right? And so I'm curious, you know, did your high school, like, how does this resonate with your peers? Like, is this something that when you explain it to them, they're like, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense to me? Are they like, why aren't you, I don't know why aren't you on TikTok? I don't know what. But I'm curious sort of like how much like legibility there is for like the research you're doing and its importance to the people that you hang out with every day.
Yeah, honestly, like after taking AP seminar my junior year, I learned about that there's a class called AP Research. In this class, you basically like, you choose one topic and you focus on that for the whole year. No one can say anything, and you can choose anything. You could literally talk about socks; they would not care. Like, you literally talk about anything. So I went to my teacher and I was like, okay, this is what I want to look at, what I want to look into. And he was like, this is like past my pay grade. Like, I don't know anything about this. And I was like, okay. He was like, how about you look for mentors, people who've done research in this, people who wrote articles in this. And I did reach out to a couple of people, but wants to work with a high schooler, like, don't know anything yet. But I ended up just looking through a lot of articles and speaking with a particular medical student who goes to Drexel, who also did research in sunscreen usage, but in Hispanic populations on the West Coast. But I was like, this has to be done in the East Coast as well. So I was like, I'm just gonna focus on adolescents, because I feel like the easiest demographic I was able to reach was high schoolers, because I go to high school with a bunch of high schoolers. There's a bunch of high schools around us. And on top of that, like, being an athlete was like a big thing in my school. So I think getting their opinion valued more than me researching like adults or younger kids, because they are people who are exposed to the sun more often.
Very cool. And where do you see this all going in the future? When we have you back here during your last week of senior year, where will you have taken things? Like, what's your dream for where this all goes?
I definitely want to get like a mentor, step number one. I definitely want to be placed in a lab that focuses on racial disparities, but I want to still focus on my own project. And hopefully we can take it further to just like adolescents, to like adults, children, and everyone. And I was actually talking to this one researcher, and she does research in COVID, and she essentially made this test, and now it's in like every single doctor office in Philly. So when you go, just fill out the form, and that's how they're able to collect data. So I think data collection was my biggest struggle, But I don't think that's going to be a problem no more. I feel.
Well, thank you so much, Balsam.